Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Friendshot Pearson and welcome to Friendshot Blue. It is Monday. Happy Monday, September 30th of 2024, 8:32 in the a.m. And yes, it will be a September to remember. And some have put in the comments section, Pearson, there might be an October surprise. I wouldn't doubt it. But let's say it together. Praise our God from whom all blessings flow. On yesterday, I presented a few videos, one of which, oh my God, did Trump speak in code? I presented this lady twice. She is the sister of a Hamas hostage. Again, this lady is a sister of a Hamas hostage. She said, if America does not get involved in solving this problem, we will have another 9/11. Do you understand? It made me think. It made me dive. It made me pray. It did a lot because I understand predictive programming. I understand subliminal hits, like even though the earrings deal with birth, they have the shape also of a cross, which I just mentioned and you guys mentioned. I talked about the 242 in the last video, all that, you can check it out. But the main thing is that, could we possibly have another Twin Tower situation? I would say, yeah, I put it up against the 5 C's of clues, codes, colors, the confirmation, time, conclusion. This really made me think, people. And so what I want to do, as promised, I want to go into the world government. United Nations was just here a few days ago in New York, and world governance was on the table. And it's my understanding we are now in a loosely knit framework for one world system. Yes, we have pledged. We have pledged in a lot of unified situations around the world. And the stage is set for the Antichrist. Also, the Pope is going from country to country, pledging, if you will, other countries to join a world religion. So the format is being set. All this is Bible prophecy. How long will it be? God only knows. But people are acting as one. When that happens, you know that Jesus is coming soon. We do not conform. We do not take the mark. We have a heavenly place, not made by hand, an order that God blessed. When God created the earth on the 7th day, he looked and admired it and said, it's good, it's blessed. That's because his hand, his blessing, touched it. God is not pleased with the direction and the order of the world. He was not pleased with that moment of Sodom and Gomorrah. He was not pleased of that order dealing with Noah. That's why he had Noah build an ark, so he could restore a framework for his order to be fruitful and multiply, to subdue, that is to manage the earth. So here we are again. And this lady is saying that her order overseas is chaotic, and she wants her sister, of course, freed. And if that doesn't happen, we'll have another 9/11. Now, I'm going to say what I said yesterday. This is one of the ways that Satan is going to chicanically bring in the new government, the world government, through fear. He's pushing it. But you don't know it's really a hidden hand, but he's going to come and solve the thing through these one-worlders, these globalists. And from there, the Antichrist will rise. Now, what I want to do is give you a historical framework, because I was a journalist back in the day for a Christian newspaper, the Christian Citizen, and various magazines. I did radio on the weekend. And so I was able to, like I said before, I found out about the one world system long time ago, and it crushed me mentally, and of course it made me think. So without further ado, let me get into it. I'm going to show you some architects of this thing. Henry Kissinger, in my humble opinion, these are the people who helped set this thing up in our modern day. The situation that we see today many times has a past. And in my humble opinion, this guy here, former Secretary of State, he had his hand all in this thing of geopolitics. And I used to tell people all the time, this guy is no good. And people argued with me. I'm like, look, this guy is setting us up for a world system. He's a globalist. He's not thinking about what the best interests are of America. And yeah, they sing his praises. Why? Because he was a globalist. And that's what he did. He set up geopolitics. And trust me, it worked. So he worked under different presidents. I forgot which one offhand. Henry Kissinger. I'll find out for you here. I want to say Jimmy Carter. I might be wrong. Maybe Nixon. Worked under what president? So he worked under diplomat. He was Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. That's who he worked under. So next person that we have is Zbigniew Brzezinski. This guy did the same thing. National Security Advisor, worked under Jimmy Carter. These two men, in my humble opinion, did more damage in a short period of time and set us on a course where we would just begin to fade into the sunset, along with presidents like Papa George Bush Sr. and Clinton, Mr. Saxophone blowing Clinton. Those people sold us out monetarily, sending our factories and jobs overseas. And look at us now. America's business. If you don't make enough to sustain yourself, it's hard to call shots. These people here, they helped set that framework up. Zbigniew Brzezinski worked under Mr. Born Again Jimmy Carter, the biggest head fake in that period of time. And who they worked for? They worked for either the Council on Foreign Relations, which I introduced yesterday, or the Trilateral Commission, which I introduced yesterday. I'm going to reintroduce them today, more detail. Okay, now, in relation to the United Nations, last week, we are part of this thing up to our neck and have been. And let me give you a quick history. I'm going to read this thing. This is the group last week where all the major world leaders got together and pledged to have a one world system. In other words, a world government. So the Rockefeller family donated money and land to the United Nations back in the day in several ways. John D. Rockefeller Jr. donated 17 acres of land in Manhattan to the United Nations in 1946. The land was purchased for $8.5 million and is now the site of the United Nations headquarters in New York. Nelson Rockefeller arranged for purchase, which was motivated by a desire for easy access to counterparts for American diplomats and to allow U.S. intelligence to monitor foreign affairs, okay? One of the biggest mistakes we ever made was putting our nose in an international order. And trust me, it cost us. And it's costing us now. We've had leaders back in the day said don't get involved in international affairs, and what do? We got involved in international affairs anyway. And you know, that could be our downfall, right? Okay, so we have John D. Rockefeller, and then we had support for the United Nations through the Rockefeller Brothers Fund. The Rockefeller Brothers Fund provided grants to the American Associates for the United Nations. So yeah, we had Nelson Rockefeller arranged the purchase. John D. Rockefeller donated the money. These are the people that they don't tell you about, people. They don't tell you about. But these people are definitely integrally involved in the past, setting up this global governance, okay? Now, I want to show you this here. I'll bring you an article from January 18th, 1980 and March 7th, 1980. Talking about the world order. I'm going to read you a few things here. The Trilateral Commission has been charged by some critics with seeking to terminate national sovereignty. Did you hear me? Terminate national sovereignty in favor of world government. People believed that back in the 1980s, okay? Michael M. Bates, writer of the article, The Trilateral Commission and the New World Order, states the members of the Trilateral Commission are, as far as I can determine, confirmed internationalists. He continues, the attraction internationalism or one world government holds for many trilateralists is understandable. Big business types view it as an opportunity to unite finally the workers of the world. National leaders see an opportunity to consolidate people, political power, and control. Members of the Academy idealistically hope the New World Order will lead to total peace, and that's the facade. And believe it or not, these world powers create war so we can desire the peace. So they're working both sides, the checkerboard. They create a problem, then they give you a solution. They've been doing this throughout the beginning of our country, and now they're doing it overseas. This is what they've been doing. They play both sides, just like I've been telling you guys. They own and control, as far as I'm concerned, the Republican and the Democratic Party, and the direction it's going. And where is it going? They just showed you last week. They're going to a one world United Nations system that these internationalists have collectively set up for us, okay? The commission could well deliver us into the new world order if we fail to alert our fellow Americans to the existence of the commission, its philosophy, and its goals, explains Bates. One thing we must keep in mind in understanding the goals of the New World Order is it would not be necessary for these men, these trilateralists, to agree on each and every issue. They would merely have to share a unique vision of the world. See that? They don't have to agree. They can be communists. They can be of any affiliation, as long as they have one central goal. Just like back in the day, in biblical days, they wanted to build a Tower of Babel, one mindset, okay? They got a vision for the world, its history and future. Dr. Jack Van Impe, author of, quote, Your Startling Future, 1979, explains the New World Order and a new international economic order. This information falls under the heading, The International Bankers Have a Plan. Impe states, Dr. Saul H. Minowitz declares, quote, there is no longer a question of whether or not there will be a world government, for the Declaration of Independence is a part of the continuing drive to dilute, then dissolve the sovereignty of the United States of America for the New World Order, a new international economic order. That was the goal, people. This is 1980, I'm reading this now, okay? Impe continues, there are between 500 to 1,000 colleges and universities teaching the new international order, all sponsored by the Rockefeller Foundation. Do you feel me? Yes, a lot of these millionaires and billionaires have infiltrated through endowments and money and whatever, and they have given money to our colleges and universities, and they have, in my humble opinion, pushed the thought process, grooming the future of an international child. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they gave money back in the day, okay? Sponsored by the Rockefeller Foundation. The same people that did what? Created the land and the acres of land and the thought of what? United Nations. It's interesting to note that David Rockefeller is an international banker and is the one who formed the Trilateral Commission. This is the same guy that, believe it or not, born-again Jimmy Carter was working for back in the day. And Zygmunt Brzezinski and Henry Kissinger and a lot of these people, they were stuffed in the White House. Do you understand what I'm saying, people? They were stuffed in the White House. When I was doing research back in the day, I continuously told people, and when they did their research, they came back to me months later like, Pearson, I had no idea. I said, yeah, your government has been infiltrated. Dr. Impey explains further, Paul Scott had this group in mind, international bankers, when he reported the following in the Washington News Intelligence Syndicate. The One World perpetrators are calling for the development of a global policy on food and oil within the framework of the United Nations. It is their belief that by controlling food, they can control people, and by controlling energy, especially oil, they can control nations and their financial systems. Impey continues by placing food and oil under world control, along with the monetary systems. They believe that they can have a world government operating by 1980 or shortly thereafter. So you can tell people were living by the grace of God, because that was 40 something years ago. And I thought it was going to happen, but hey, now that we got technology and everything, it can definitely happen now. Everything's solid. Then it says, bluntly stated, a huge C word, right here, C word, network is fast approaching its goal of bringing in a new world order, a vast world government which would reduce the world to slavery. Ms. Brooks is described in International Bankers. Okay, next we have this. In a speech in Bonn, Germany, President Carter's National Security Council advisor Zygmunt Brzezinski, the guy I showed you earlier, Zygmunt Brzezinski, made it clear that he anticipated a one world order. This will include the, see that word there? See, they got everybody to conform. Now, this is going on internationally, people. They were selling us out. Never asked us anything. These are our so-called representatives. They were appointed in positions under Jimmy Carter, under Nixon, under Ford, all these presidents. The sentence you just read is factual. You are not dreaming. Nothing in this sentence has been changed. During January of 1979, I received Red Eye News, a monthly news leaflet, which dealt with the subject recognition of red. Look at that. See that word? Within the article, the author asked the question, is the time ripe for a one world government? The following statement of Zygmunt Brzezinski answered that question and more. A concentrated foreign policy must give way to a complex foreign policy and no longer focus on a single dramatic task such as defense of the West. That's why I showed you yesterday, Reverend Jesse Jackson and even Dr. King, they both talked about a one world order. Dr. King called it a world house. They sell it in terms of peace and hunger and other issues to get you to be a globalist state of mind. And then boom, you're in a system, to me, which is an antichrist system. I've always believed, as I did my research, the reason why Dr. King got in trouble is because he bucked the system. When he went and started dealing with the international war of Vietnam, to me, that's when they took him out. He was only supposed to deal with national causes. So in my humble opinion, once you get out of pocket and you get out of your lane, that is, you don't stay in your lane, they come pay you a visit. So instead, he continues, we must engage ourselves on the distant and difficult goal of giving shape to a world that has suddenly become politically awakened and socially restless. A wider and more cooperative world system has to include also that part of the world which is ruled by this. They'll force your hand to get into it, okay? That's what they've been doing. They've been forcing hands around the world to become a part of this thing. It's deep, y'all. It's deep. Back in the day, I wrote, Americans need to become America again, to stand up and be strong. We need to pray for God's guidance of this nation so that our children and children's children will be able to sing God Bless America, my home sweet home. So yeah, that's the history. Now let me get you into this here. I've come to the conclusion that they're going to force us into this thing by hook or crook. Trump mentioned yesterday that he announced that he will officially make Ground Zero a site of a national monument. The actual date was 9/18. I think I told you guys 9/28, so I apologize, I had the wrong date. But this is the date. On 9/18, he said this in New York. And I have some numbers for you. First of all, let's look at this here. When a dragon was placed on the Empire State Building, I figured I would go back to this in the future. I did a video on this. You guys remember, a dragon was put on the top of the Empire State Building. And again, there was a lady I just showed you a little while ago who said that if we don't, take care of this hostage situation and the problem in the Middle East, we'll have another 9/11. Well, if we do, where else would it be? Would it be New York? Chicago has tall buildings. The odds are it's going to be in New York. And it will be probably either the new Twin Tower, which is only one in New York, or the Empire State Building. We're going to focus on both those today. It's deep. Check this out.
Has a visitor from Westeros.
Wow.
A 270-foot dragon from the Game of Thrones prequel House of Dragons is now wrapped around the building's spire.
That's incredible.
HBO and Max teamed up with the New York City landmark for the premiere of season 2 of House of Dragons, which was last night. The dragon on the spire is Vhagar. She is the queen of all dragons in the series. You get a prime view of Vhagar from the building's observatory, and with a ticket to the House of Dragons experience, you can take your seat on the Iron Throne.
The Iron Throne.
I want to see you sitting on the Iron Throne.
Iron Throne. I did a video on this on the French Shot Blue, and I knew this was symbolic in my mind, so I did that. But I have some updates I want to show you, okay? Now, 270-foot inflatable dragon. It was put on that building June 16th, okay? And they said it was in relation to the Game of Thrones. I believe it was additional stuff. Empire State Building. This might be for the future, people, okay? This might as well be for the future. This just might well be for the future. Symbolic of a hit. Do you understand? Now check this out. You guys know about 9/11? 9/11, 2001. Let's look at this here. The Empire State Building, it was completed. It opened its doors on 4/11/1931. I'm gonna show you some numbers. The World Trade, it opened its doors April 4th, 1973, okay? Let's look at this here. When you take 4/4, April 4th, that is the day of the old World Trade opened up, 4/4, April 4. And you know the 44th president was Barack Obama. Were they being futuristic when they did it? Just point it out. 4/4. Subtracted from 6/16, the day that the dragon went on top of the Empire State Building. Subtracted 2, using 20/20/24. The difference is 2/16. 2 months, 1 week, 6 days. Why is that important? The 216th day of the year is August 4th. Who was born August 4th? Barack Obama. Is that coincidence? The dragon and the actual date of the old World Trade Center, the difference is 2 months, 1 week, and 6 days in between. Isn't that something when you bring it to 2024? But look at this here. 9/11 anniversary of 2024. All the presidents were just there, remember? A few weeks ago, all the presidents was there. Kamala Harris was there. All the dignitaries was there. New York dignitaries were there on 9/11, right? They were just there. Versus what? Trump's birthday, 6/14 of 2024. The difference is 2 months and 4 days. What is 2/4? 24th letter of the alphabet is X. That means we're gonna take you out. Who are we going to take out? Trump? Or we're going to take out another tower or the Empire State Building? Now look at this here. 616. What is 616? The day the dragon went on top of the Empire State Building. 616. Versus 918. What is 918? That's the day that Trump said he's going to dedicate the 9/11 building as a monument. The difference is 94 days. What is 94 days? The 94th day of the year is April 4th. That's 4-4 again. Who's the 44th president? Barack Obama. Is that coincidence? Now look at this here. We now have 4/11 of 2024. What is that? That's the day. That's the day the Empire State Building had its anniversary. 4/11 of 2024. It just had another birthday. Empire State Building. Versus 616, the day the dragon went on top of the Empire State Building. The difference is what? The difference is 66 days. 66, Satan's number, mark of the beast. Is that coincidence? Are they speaking to us with this dragon? We got to ask this question. Again, they want the one world system. And they know how it was when we had 9/11 back in the day in 2000, how much fear it would bring. Okay? Now look at this, 9/18. What is 9/18? That's the day that Trump vowed to make Ground Zero a monument. So 9/18 versus what? Barack Obama's birthday, August 4th, 2024. The difference is what? The difference is 45 days. Who was the 45th president? Trump. Is that coincidence? People, many times you need a history. And this is all the way from 1980. Sometimes you need a history and a perspective to understand how we got here and where we're going. I've been saying since I started my new channel, thank you guys for being with me, that America was never built for you. It never was. These secret societies, along with the bloodline and the fallen angels, they got together. They formed the United States of America. I am convinced. There was some good people. Some of them owned slaves. Some of them were duelists. But you can't serve God and man. Satan has requirements, and so does God. And if you check your history, a few of the founding fathers died mysteriously all of a sudden. I believe that happened for two reasons. Number one, sacrifice. Number two, they didn't like the direction this thing was going. Sometimes when you join these one world groups, you don't know everything or enough until you have a season with them. Could be 2-3 years, then you realize, like, I don't want to do this. You're a man or woman of God. God convicts your spirit. You say, I don't want to do this. And that's just my theory. But America was made to be the harlot, Mystery Babylon, Book of Revelation, and we're here. Mystery Babylon has businesses, international, but it had to set up a structure. It has military, it has money, it has banking, it has influence. We have taken nations, destroyed them, taken the real estate, the land, the minerals, the oil, the resources, you name it. I've done that. So I've talked about that before. The bottom line, America, God got something out of it, don't get me wrong. Patriots and good, loving people got something out of it. Foreigners got something out of America because they came over here. But America had to be established and flourish so that the one world system can be birthed through America. Do you understand? Because our tentacles reached international. We had the League of Nations back in the day, the League of Nations, the one world system then, and then we metamorphosized into United Nations. And now we're here with a more global governance along with a global religion. You understand what I'm saying? So America really wasn't built for you. Yes, there were some billionaires and maybe a few millionaires that came out of it that were good. But now, if you notice, the thing that binds us together is money. And the bankers are controlling the money. Every time the middle class became strong back in the day, early 1900s, middle 1900s, late 70s, late 80s, we had a recession or something, a housing crisis to bring us back down, because they never wanted us to have that much. They utilized the stock market as a piggy bank. Understand what I'm saying? They built up all the major agencies, and now they have infiltrated everything. Banking, government, education. I can go down the road. And like I taught you guys about a month ago, Smedley Butler, decorated soldier, #1 military person back in the day. The power was tried, the business people back in the day, the business plot is called, the business plot. They tried to take him to take over America then, and it didn't work. That's right, Smedley Butler. The powers wanted to use him, the bankers wanted to use him back in the day to take over America. He turned against them. Nobody in the institution of banking or business went to jail. Congress didn't do anything to him. You think they went away? No. They created, in my humble opinion, different groups like the Bilderbergs, allegedly, the Trilateral Commission, allegedly, the Council on Foreign Relations, allegedly, and a whole alphabet. And so they did it another way. And they've been running the country ever since. And they've been running the international order ever since then too. So again, we did get something out of the blessings of America, but America wasn't built for you. It was built for them. And as soon as they got their technology and finance and everything done, militarily overseas, and control the wealth and the infrastructure, once they got that, now you realize just the nature of this beast. The beast had to do what? It had to surround. It had to put his tentacles and everything. And so this is why, in my humble opinion, you see this now, because this is what this thing was really about, the beast over the Empire State Building, the empire, you understand? It's over the empire, and it always wanted to be over the empire. And the odds are this empire symbolically will be taken down to push us into the one world system. I pray you guys understand. America, again, is a blessed country, but it wasn't built for you. You got some benefits, however, it was built for them. And the stronger that they got, the more overreach they could have on us and the world. I'm Friend Shot Pearson. Like the work, thumbs up, please subscribe, tell people about it. Remember, this is the channel where you've got to check daily to make sure I have videos. If you're unsubscribed, subscribe again and hit the bell. God bless you, and God bless America.